Over the past month, Realme has launched not one but two new entry-level smartphones for users on a budget. Say hello to the Narzo 50 and the Narzo 50A Prime. Today we're here to find out if these new smartphones can keep up with today's demand for smartphones. Hi guys, Jeru here for Ungeek, and join us today as we unbox and check out the Narzo 50 and Narzo 50A Prime. But before anything else, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below and turn on the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we have new uploads. We have a lot in store for you. And with that out of the way, let's check out the Narzo 50 and Narzo 50A Prime. Right off the bat, we are greeted by the classic teal box that the Narzo phones come in. The Narzo 50 box is significantly thicker than the Narzo 50A Prime box, and it will be evident why later. Starting off with the Narzo 50, upon opening the box, you are greeted with the usual white box with the text "Feel the Power" printed in front. Inside, you find the documents and a clear silicone phone case. Right under is the phone itself. We'll check that out in a minute. At the bottommost part is the 33-watt charging block and USB Type-C charging wire. Next, we have the Narzo 50A Prime. Opening it looks the same as the Narzo 50, but it does not come with a silicone case. Remember when I told you that the box of the Narzo 50 is significantly thicker than the Prime? Well, it's because the Narzo 50A Prime no longer comes with a charging block. It only comes with its own USB Type-C charging cord. Moving on to the units themselves, the Narzo 50 and Narzo 50A Prime both come in sleek, simple designs. Both phones have decent heft to them, giving them a good hand feel. However, both phones feature very shiny backs with glossy finishes, which is pretty much unforgiving when it comes to showing fingerprints and dust fuzz, but we could see it having an easy fix with a cute phone case. The colorway we got for the Narzo 50 is the Speed Black, while for the Narzo 50A Prime, we got the Flash Black colorway. Both simple and elegantly colored, but as we said, very unforgiving with fingerprints. Moving to the front, we are greeted with a 6.6-inch IPS 120Hz ultra smooth display for the Narzo 50 and a 6.6-inch FHD full screen display for the Narzo 50A Prime. Inside, the Narzo 50 offers a MediaTek Helio G96 processor, a 5000 mAh battery, a 6GB RAM, and 128GB of storage, while the Narzo 50A Prime sports a Unisoc Tiger T612 processor, 5000 mAh battery, 4GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage. We were impressed by how these smartphones responded to quick change apps, so we decided to take it on a test drive on our favorite smartphone activities. Starting off with the cameras, the Narzo 50 houses a triple rear camera with a 50-megapixel main shooter, 2 megapixels macro shooter, and a 2 megapixel black and white shooter. It also has a 16-megapixel front camera. While the Narzo 50A Prime also carries a triple rear camera with 50-megapixel main shooter, 2 megapixels macro shooter, and 2 megapixels depth camera, and it also features an AI function which auto-detects surroundings and adjusts the light settings accordingly. Both phones are decent when there is sufficient lighting. However, they both get a little grainy in low light settings. But if we were to pick one solely for the color output of the photos, we would say that the AI function on the Narzo 50A Prime gives it a slight edge over the Narzo 50. Now moving on to gaming, we fired up our usual roster of games to test both phones out and to see how they would hold up. And spoiler alert, you might need to sacrifice graphics to be able to play on these phones smoothly. Starting off with Mobile Legends, the game automatically sets the graphics settings to the lowest on both phones. But while in-game, we noticed that there are less lags when we use the Narzo 50. But with the Narzo 50A Prime, it evidently slows down and lags, especially when there are too many graphics to load on screen. With Call of Duty, we have not experienced lag on both phones, but the graphics settings is still set to the lowest. Now, the acid test of most phones. We fired up Genshin Impact. Playing it on the Narzo 50 on the lowest setting is decent enough for you to do your dailies and maybe explore a little if you can live with a little lags here and there. However, When it came to trying it out on the Narzo 50A Prime, I personally couldn't last 10 minutes playing because the graphics were too pixelated and it was straining my eyes. Also, the lags are very much evident while using this phone. But we wanted to find a game that would work perfectly for the Narzo 50A Prime, so we also downloaded a more casual rhythm game, JYP Superstar, and it definitely works like a charm. So maybe if you're looking for a main gaming phone, you can opt for the Narzo 50, and if you're a more casual gamer, you can grab the Narzo 50A Prime. Of course, we cannot end our first impressions without mentioning the battery capacity on both phones. Both the Narzo 50 and the Narzo 50A Prime sport a 5000 mAh battery, which can last for more than a day depending on how you use your phone. Both also support fast charging, which can get you from 0% to 100 in little over an hour. However, we have faced a tiny little concern. As we mentioned, the Narzo 50A Prime no longer has a charging block, so we tested it out with generic charging blocks, and it took forever to charge. So if you're planning to grab the Narzo 50A Prime, make sure to also grab a charging block from Realme to utilize the fast charging support the phone has. And that has been our unboxing and first impressions of the Narzo 50 and Narzo 50A Prime. If you're considering getting the first smartphone for your niece or nephew, or maybe even a casual phone for your elderly folks, both phones are suited for them. The Narzo 50 is priced at 9,999 pesos, while the Narzo 50A Prime is priced at 7,999 pesos. Have we missed anything? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And once again, this has been Jeru for Ungeek. Thanks for watching and see you next time!